Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bunny Smacker, and today we're reviewing Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is a 2020 Metroidvania role-playing video game developed by Morai Games and published by Team 17. The game combines side-scrolling exploration with monster taming mechanics and turn-based combat. It was released for Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch on December 8th, 2020, after a period of early access on Windows beginning in August 2019. The game was also available through Xbox Game Pass at launch, which is how I originally played it. In Monster Sanctuary, you play as a new monster keeper from an ancient bloodline. Your job is to explore a hidden magical world and uncover why wild beasts are suddenly growing angry. You must stop a group of evil wizards, called the Alchemist, from using monsters to take over the world. Monster Sanctuary blends Metroidvania-style side-scrolling exploration with monster taming and turn-based combat. Players take on the role of a monster keeper, exploring a pixel art world full of wild creatures. Defeating monster yields eggs that can be hatched and added to the player's roster. And each creature has its own skill tree that develops as it gains experience. Battles are turn-based 3-on-3 encounters. Weapons, armor, and skill trees let players build specialized monster teams around status effects, healing, or raw damage output, with team composition and ability synergies playing a central role. Different monsters also help with transversal, my favorite word. I've had to say it in almost every single one of these. Some smash through walls, others let players fly over gaps or light up dark areas. Collecting new creatures gradually opens up parts of the map that were previously out of reach, following the Metroidvania progression loop. Players can also battle each other online in a player versus player mode, which I did not do for this review. The graphics of Monster Sanctuary are simple but readable. I think it's a very clean way to get across the uniqueness and differences between the monsters, which is very important because there's over 100 monsters throughout the game. It's like a 12-bit art style because it wouldn't play on the NES, but it's a bit lower than something on like the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. The gameplay for Monster Sanctuary is divided by strategic 3-on-3 monster battles, where you have to balance doing damage, healing, status effects, and your enemy's weaknesses and strengths. And this is the part of the game that excels, to the point where it really shows the secondary gameplay that is platforming around really starts to feel like an afterthought. The excitement I originally had in the beginning of the game, thinking about how to access higher ledges or gain access to chests behind certain elements, was dashed about halfway through the game. You see all of the tricks and hidden objects fairly easily, and it really doesn't feel very Metroidvania. Aside from gaining a double jump, I really don't know if I'd call it one. The map is still fun to get around, but I think the game does a disservice by putting it in comparison to most Metroidvania games that came before it. You're not really going to be sticking around for the search action gameplay in Monster Sanctuary. However, the strategic 3-on-3 battles really where not only the challenge comes from, but also the thing that makes this one stand out among any other monster taming games, in the similar vein to Pokémon. And while I personally like my RPGs to get easier towards the end, because what am I leveling up for? Monster Sanctuary. The game tends to throw all the complex stuff at you when you're nearing the finish line. This does take some of my enjoyment of the game away, and as I look back on the experience, it's unfortunate. As for the music of Monster Sanctuary, it gets a tad repetitive, and might be the biggest thing I disliked about the game. seemed like you hear the same 3 tracks often, but I guess hearing battle music over and over again is in every RPG. At the end of the day, I guess I'm just spoiled by the Final Fantasy series, having nothing but bangers for battle music. So here is one of the songs you'll be hearing a lot of. Overall, I still think Monster Sanctuary is a unique and interesting game that really puts itself in its own category, not only for monster taming, but for indie games as a whole. You can really tell Denis Sinner really poured a ton of passion into Monster Sanctuary. In a world full of awful tutorials, this one really gets the beginning right, and I think if you played it for like an hour, you'd want to see the end just like I did. Even if the game pushes you back once you start getting towards the end. If this looks remotely interesting to you, I'd say throw it on your wish list, as it goes on sale often and is on multiple platforms. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching as always. I've been Bunny Snacker, you've been my audience, and I'll see you in the next one. Same bunny time, same bunny channel. Alright, see ya.